Well, black people are Native Americans. We've had, a lot of proof that, you know, some of us started here in this land. Everybody wasn't brought over from Africa.
What are they doing here? They're Indians.
This is one of my many unsuccessful experiments. You see, with Indians, there's absolutely nothing to be done. There's the same difference between a Negro and an Indian as there is between a dog and a coyote. You can put a dog on a leash, beat him, and he'll always be there to lick your feet. Take away a coyote's liberty, and you've cut off his heir. An Indian will never be a slave. No one has ever been able to make them reproduce in captivity. They do not eat, they do not talk, they do not sleep, they do not make love.
There are several things that are significant about it. Of course, one of them is the way that colonialism tries to develop all kinds of elaborate classification terms for different kinds of people, but that's another subject. The most significant thing here is to reveal the much greater amounts of Native American ancestry that are present within the African American population than most people realize, because they might have been misled by the use of terms like mulatto and also people of color.
After the African, LeVar Burton had been told that his name was to be Toby, and he refused it, and he was beaten to make him say his name was Toby.
How was the dramatization? How much of that actually was recounted to you? I mean, was there a lot of interweaving?
A lot of it, I thought maybe you were going to ask, and maybe you are in another way, is how much of the book is fact and how much is fiction. Well, a whole lot of it's fiction. Well, a whole lot of it's fiction. Well, a whole lot of it's fiction.
Now, this is just a tiny bit of information now.
But they take it as huge.
Right, because it's cracking open the door.
There's a place in Africa you could say that I'm from. A tribe? I am thrilled. It puts a name, a place, a location, a people.
Hank really is concerned that the science isn't really there yet for you to be giving them the name of a tribe.
I think for most companies, I would be concerned too.
But what about your own company?
We have
He
the
didn't
largest...
exclude you. He included you.
But we have the largest set of sequences from Africa. And so with that, we're able to provide some level of probability in terms of frequency.
But he would say that even though you have the largest database, it's still small on the scope of things.
As I said, I share those concerns. We don't oversell. I mean, we just say, look, we provide a service. If you're interested in exploring a tiny bit of your DNA and trace its ancestry, we can do that.
When you say it's a tiny little amount,
it's less than 0.1%. Less than 0.1%. Less than 0.1%.
And that's pretty teeny.
Yeah, but for people who know nothing about any of them, I think it's very important.
You do not know a goddamn thing about Africa. I am from Detroit, Motown. So you can Watusi your monkey ass back to Africa if you want to.
What's up? Hey, y'all. What's going on? Happy hump day. Happy hump day, y'all. I'm in between hair styles. So I got some braids going. Y'all know I'm going on vacation Saturday. I'm going to Turks. So I'm in between hairstyles. I only have enough braids to put the front in a couple of rows up the back. Or up the bike, my bad. But anyways, we are here. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Shout out to everybody in the building. I hope you guys, if you don't get a chance to before we get off the live, go back and watch that intro if you haven't already. Most of my Educational Friday people know it. But go back and watch that intro if you can, if you haven't seen it, because there's a lot of pertinent information in there. There's the bit in there with, what's his name that wrote the Alex Haley, who wrote the movie Roots. He's in there basically admitting that it was a whole lot fiction, a whole lot of it's fiction. Basically, they made it up. And we all know that he was sued because he plagiarized some clear man's work and also another black woman. But that's a whole nother thing. So that's in there. And then another key pivotal thing is the DNA testing. See, we have to get away from DNA testing. That's the worst thing you could do. It ain't going to give you no information. It's going to give you a bunch of, Can y'all see me? Girl, look at the devil. He busy. Not over here, though. Anyways, like I was saying, I don't know what happened, but y'all come on in. It's a powerful day. Come on in. It's a powerful day, girl. It's already starting. Come on in. Come on in. Y'all already know this about to be powerful. Did you see that? Did you see it? Girl, let's get back into where I was going with it. Don't worry about it. I got it under control. Don't worry about it. But anyways, yeah, the DNA testing, the things that we have been told about DNA testing, they can only trace you to quote unquote regions of places, but they can never trace you to people. So if you want to find who you are and who your lineage is, right? Not only who your lineage is, but also how you fit into this story of America today, you need to do your genealogy. Do your genealogy. Genealogy, genealogy, genealogy yesterday, genealogy today, genealogy tomorrow, and forever. Find out who you are. This is very, 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 very important. Identity is the first, what I be saying? The first step to freedom, something like that. Yeah, identity is the first step really to freedom, and it's the first form of freedom. You get it? See, think about it. Us as a people has been lost for how many years? In all those years, we've been reclassified. How many times? Because we're lost. I know that identity gets you freedom. So please, you guys, do your genealogy. But anyway, y'all come on in, come on in, come on in. Get the likes up on the video. Get the likes up on the video. Make sure y'all like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. We getting to 100K subscribers by the end of the year. I know we're gonna get to it before, but let's just roll with the move and say December 31st or whatever the case may be. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of work to do. Today we got a few topics to discuss. There's this weird story, and excuse my fingernails, I'm braiding my hair. Look, it was either come on here or no. So excuse my fingernails, I'm braiding my hair. So don't nobody come on here and be like, oh, Vu, you on here with 6 nails, 6.5 nails. I'm in the process of putting these braids in, girl, so I can let this sun kiss me at the equator. You get it? I'm about to come back blue-black. Do you hear me? You think I'm black now? Woo-wee! Girl, I'm about to come back as black as dark. Do you hear me? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So y'all just bear with me. I'm here to give a message. But there's a weird story. So Tamar Braxton says that she went out on the town. There's a video. She went out with some friends, and funky Dineva was there. Don't get me started. Okay. Funky was there. The lady said she woke up. Her face was fractured. She lost 4 teeth. Let me not use my hands today because I just saw that. That looked so bad. Let me put my hands down here. My bad. I'm in between braids. Anyways, listen. 4 teeth. The girl said she woke up with 4 teeth missing, a fractured face in a pool of blood. And I said, what? Now, legend has it that they said, I didn't say it, because Funky came out because he was with everybody like Funky. What happened? And Funky came out and was like, that lady, we went to the party. You see the video. That lady invited me to dinner. We went to dinner. That lady got in a car with me and some other people. That lady got out the car and me by myself went by somebody else, and I got proof for that. I can call my witnesses. And that lady texted me the next day and said that she had 4 missing teeth. And I said, girl, what? This is literally his response. And this is a lesson for black women. Listen, I done told, this ain't my first rodeo with Funky. This is not my first rodeo with Funky. Now, I'm not saying Funky did nothing to the girl. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is Every time the universe show y'all stuff, y'all just walk around with the blinders on and it just bothers me. We gonna discuss it. Monique still doubling down on toilet paper, aka Tyler Perry, saying that he needs to get her career back because he's the one ruined it. And Saneter, the king of the House of Consciousness, happens to unfortunately lose his mom. But unfortunately lose his mom. But fortunately, because let me tell you, the universe is talking. The universe is talking. You niggas better open your ears. The universe is talking. The universe is yelling. It's screaming, actually. It's just, a lot of people are literally walking around with earmuffs on. Long story short, Saneter's mother passed, which I offer my condolences if he ever sees this video. And his uncle preached the eulogy, and here's where he found out he is of the Shinnecock Indian tribe. A lot of people don't know that the Shinnecock Indians were the ones that were located up north, like, where present day New York and all those places are. See, a lot of people don't know that there are indigenous Black Americans that were in the north. We were not all in the south. Yes, we were more populated in the south, but we were not all in the south. There's a few other people came out and said it was Shinnecock. Wasn't it Flavor Flav said he was Shinnecock, or ODB? I know ODB. It's a lot. It's a lot of indigenous Black Americans all over this land, okay? You are standing on the motherland. This here is the land of milk and honey. Welcome to the party. You're late, okay? But either way, better late than never. Shout out to all my people. And this is just not for my indigenous people to North America or the United States. This is to all my melanated indigenous people in the Americas. That includes Canada, the States, Mexico, South America in its entirety, and also the Caribbean. All melanated, indigenous, copper-colored people, it is now time to wake up and look within. I hope you guys are doing your grounding. Do your grounding and do your genealogy. Okay? This is extremely imperative, okay? Listen to me. I'm not going to steer you wrong. I swear. I swear I'm not going to steer you any way wrong. I'm not telling you who you are. I'm not giving you your identity. I am only asking and urging that you do the work to find out who you are. The enlightenment of it all, you'll see it on Saneter's face. You'll see it. But we'll get into it, and we'll get into the wonders of genealogy and all those things. But anyways, we about to get right into the show, girl. Y'all get the likes up on the video. What we doing on likes? Let me see where we at on the likes. Oh, I didn't know this. I did not know that Flav and ODB were cousins. I had no idea. Crazy work. Small world too. Yeah, there was a lot of tribes up north. As a matter of fact, before, when it was New Amsterdam, that's what the Clears named it when they came. I'm gonna give y'all a brief little crash course, okay? Brief, very, very brief, from the small research that I've done. I ain't gonna say small, but from the research that I've done, there were Black indigenous people in the northeastern areas, all the way to the tippy top, because I don't know what state is up there, all the way down to, I guess you would say, Virginia. I don't know geography, so please forgive me. There were Black indigenous people that were indigenous to that particular part of the land in that time. Clears came over, the Dutch. Don't give me the line. It was the Dutch and a few other people. Don't give me the line. I know we're about specifics. But either way, they came, and the Indians were like, they came and was like, hey, can we get some land? And because we never believed that the land belonged to us, it belonged to the Most High, everybody, we were just like, cool, just go over there. Long story short, they were trading back and forth with these Clears, thinking that they were cool. And just like today, just like in Chicago or New Orleans or Houston or Atlanta, you might have a hood that don't like another hood. I'm telling you what happened now. Listen to me. You might have a hood, just like you might have, I don't know, I'm going to use New Orleans because I don't know the streets in other cities. I remember when I was growing up, niggas from uptown didn't deal with niggas from downtown. As a matter of fact, a lot of the killing that went on what happened because of that beef. Now imagine clear people coming in on both sides. These people are enemies. Befriending them, acting as if we're cool, and using them to take out each other. That's literally what happened. The Indians who were here were trading back and forth with these clears. They were doing a lot of what is it? Buffalo. What is them big old heavy? It's like a poncho type of, y'all put it in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. But they used to make it from the fur, and I don't know, don't give me the line about the detail of the animal, but I want to say it's like buffalo or something. Either way, they made that bison. That's what it was, bison. Thank you, Mercedes. Bison, they would take the fur of bison and they would make, winter gear and stuff like that. And they would trade back and forth. And listen, let me tell you how evil these people are. And let me tell you something. They wasn't all clear. These were not all clear people. Get that out of your head. If you continue to only focus on clear people, baby, the way it's gonna sneak up on you, you ain't even gonna be able to defend it. I'm telling you now. So listen to what I'm saying. It was both clear and melanated people that came there. They introduced a certain vodka or whatever alcohol to these people and got these people so drunk off their behinds to where they were discombobulated or fighting. Doesn't that sound familiar today? Doesn't that sound familiar today? Also, do you know whenever the Indians would try to organize and get together, the clears and the other people would call them gangs and say that it was criminal? Yeah. Now, we gonna get into it. We gotta clear up a lot of misconceptions, but I need y'all to get the likes up on the video. That's what happened in the Northeast. Yes, there are Black indigenous people to the Northeast. One more thing I want to tell you. If you are one of the people who wasn't forced through migration, not the people who did forced migration, if you are one of those people who find that your natural migration pattern is to a state, a location, or a place, that is because that is not only the path that you've taken in the past, that is the path that your ancestors have taken. The answers are right here in the soil. Okay? Now, let's get into the show. We can start with Monique, knock her out, get her out the way. Monique's still on here crying about toilet paper. And honestly, let's be real, because I've been pro Monique against toilet paper, for a long time. Now, some might say, Voodoo, you only pro Monique because you don't like toilet paper. And let me say this, you're right. You're absolutely right, actually. That's literally the only reason why. No, it's not. But no, I feel like right is right and wrong is wrong. And I understand cliques. I understand the way that the society works. And I know how they work. If you're not on the in crowd, they have the ability to literally push you out. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's at your job. I don't care if it's at a church. I don't care if you work at a high level job or a low level job. It's all about cliques and being in. And at the time, I don't know who Monique pissed off. I don't know what the backstory was, but whatever it was, toilet paper decided that Monique no longer has another career. And that's just the God's honest truth of it. You know what I'm saying? Or at least to what I believe, allegedly. Okay? So when Monique comes out and cries and tells us that she didn't cry. And you know what? Let me say this too, Monique. And Monique might not never see this. But if God or the universe or the ancestors see fit to drop this in Monique's lap or women like Monique, let me say this. That's the problem. Because it was my problem. You know how I know it's the problem? That was my problem, trying to be too strong. Sometimes you have to be vulnerable. And I'm not saying that Monique had to get on here and cry. But what I'm saying is, unfortunately, to people like myself and Monique, you are going to always be looked at as this rock that's so strong that she'll be all right, or we don't even believe she's affected to the level or degree. You see what I'm saying? That she's affected, or she's saying she's affected. I'm saying all that to say, I feel like Monique has been too strong, and it could be against a little bit, not too much. Shout out to Monique, but it could have been against her benefit for her career and for everything else. Get out here and be vulnerable. Don't just cuss that nigga out. We done heard that part. Be vulnerable. Tell us what's really going on, because we all know toilet paper ain't worth a dime. No billionaires is worth anything. A rich man's chances of getting into heaven, what he says, like an elephant fitting through the eye of a needle. You get it? So when Monique came out and said what she said, a lot of people were all, and you know what's crazy? This is how I know people are fickle and crazy. When Monique came out and said she was treated unfairly by toilet paper, everybody in their mom told Monique to shove it and shut up. And then soon right after, A Bug's Life, Taraji P. Henson came out and said the same thing, said they working me like a dog day in and day out, and I gotta eat oodles and noodles and catch an Uber to work and to Saturday. What are you gonna do for me? When it took her to come out doing that for y'all to be like, oh yeah, that's wrong. The way they doing these people, that is so wrong. Y'all is fake for that. Y'all fake. It's never about what's right and wrong in society today. It's always about who we like and how we feel. And that right there is going to lead us to purgatory. I promise you. But anyways, let's get into Monique. She says Tyler Perry has a God complex. Doubles down on her claims that he ruined her career and says she won't stop until he makes it right. You publicly shamed me, so now you have to publicly fix it. You cost my family millions and millions of dollars, and that's a fact. And unfortunately, because Hollywood is so lame and corrupt, guess what? Ain't gonna be nothing that she could do about it. All she can do is complain. But you know what? This might be a blessing in disguise, Monique. I don't know what the blessing is, but this might be a blessing in disguise. Sometimes God, the Most High, will do stuff to you, and you think it's just the worst thing, but He really doing something to get you out the way or something. That's all I'm thinking. I don't know. Let's get into what Monique had to say.
And the stories and all the stuff that people put, because I'm growing into my star. You've been a star way longer than me.
You know, one of the biggest entertainers in the world is Tyler Perry. And Tyler Perry told a lie on me. And that lie cost me 12 years of my career. 12. And I know that you work for that man. But as I told you before, and I'm going to say it again, until he fixes it, I will not stop, because that's how the monster is created. We're too afraid, we're too scared, we're too fearful that you're going to take something from me. So I'm just not going to say anything. Harvey Weinstein is where? He's in jail. Now that's been going on for decades, but everybody said, let it go. Don't say nothing, which allowed that man to do more damage to women over the decades. As long as I can help it, I'm saying, Tyler Perry, you will not do this to another.
And let me say this in Monique's defense. She's not lying. Because if this lawsuit that Tyler Perry is under right now didn't tell you anything, it should tell you everything at all. Did I say everything? Whatever. You know what I mean. This man, this clear man, this boy toy who Tyler Perry wanted to power drill, allegedly, he got a huge increase in salary. I'm talking major. And he didn't even have experience for the role. Yet and still, the people down at the toilet paper studio saying they over there making $5.15 an hour. And I don't mean that literally, but you know what I'm saying. Minimum wage type teas. Toilet paper, I believe, does do Black women horrible. Just like Funky, they use you. They utilize everything, all the gifts, all of the essence that you have to be beneficial to them. And you don't even realize it because you don't even know your gifts. And you don't even know your gifts. And because you don't know your gifts, you don't even realize that they're being siphoned from you and stolen. And manifest into money for your faves. Okay? He's a billionaire. I'm pretty positive he has a God complex. I would never want to be there to understand what that sounds like or feels like or looks like. However, toilet paper ain't never meant not only the Black community no good, but he damn sure ain't never meant Black women no good. But that's a conversation we'll have another day. Because the church women will windmill on me with their head down behind their toilet paper.
As long as I can help it, because you told a lie. And you feel like you have the gut.
How you deal with the lies and the stories?
God complex. So I ain't got to fix it. Either you'll fix it in life or you'll be dealt with in death. It's totally up to you, but I'm not going nowhere. Oprah, I'm not going anywhere until y'all take accountability and fix it. Y'all messed with my livelihood, which messes with my family. Never would I do that to anyone. So until they fix it, I won't back down.
Well, let me ask you, what does fixing it look like to you?
You see what Lee Daniels did?
Mm-hmm.
That man walked out on that stage publicly. See, you publicly shamed me.
Girl, Lee Daniels was in a bind, girl. Lee Daniels was in a bind, girl. He needed you. That wasn't genuine. I told you when I saw the apology. Lee Daniels was in a bind, Nate. He needed you. That's why he came back crawling and saying, Mo, I'm sorry. Lee Daniels don't give a damn about Monique. I understand the actual tangible is what counts. I get that. But let's talk morally. Lee Daniels ain't give two F's about Monique. And he did not, in my opinion, I don't believe he really meant that apology. He was in the bind and he needed her. And like all these other energy siphoners, they come back and crawl back because they need you.
You publicly shamed me. So now you have to publicly fix it. Tyler Perry, you cost my family millions and millions and millions of dollars. And it is a beautiful thing when you tip somebody $3,000. It's a beautiful thing when you give somebody $400,000 because their house burnt down. Those are good deeds. However, you know what you did to a Black woman named Monique. So all of that, the universe is watching and saying, "God complex, so I ain't got to fix it." Okay, we see what you're trying to do, but you can't fool us. And I don't believe I'm the only one. Of course not. You don't do that to somebody and it be your first time. You don't because you're too comfortable in doing it. You cost my family millions.
So it's a public apology and you want restitution.
Yes. And I say that unapologetically. You are on tape saying what you did to me was wrong. You are on tape. That's your voice, Tyler Perry. You called us. We didn't call you. You said what he did to me was wrong and he was going to fix it when his movie Boo came out. When did Boo come out? 2016. We are now in 2025 and you've not fixed that. You've not fixed it. Okay. We see what you're trying.
So that's what Monique has to say. And I feel like people telling her to let it go. You let it go. You lose millions of dollars and watch somebody prosper and then you let it go. Y'all is crazy. I know niggas that won't let go to $20 they loaned somebody 3 weeks ago or 5 years ago. Y'all got to stop with all of that. Let that lady get hers off, okay? Now, honestly, Mo, if you think you're going to get that money from toilet paper, Mo, it'll never happen. It just won't. I'm sorry, Mo. And you know why you're not going to get that back tenfold? Because you hell-bent on trying to get it back from toilet paper. Let it go. I'm not saying let go how you feel about it. I'm not saying let go the situation. What I'm saying is let go the burden on you, Mo. And I promise you, you'll get millions and millions and millions tenfold. You holding back the money over there waiting or trying to get it back from toilet paper. Toilet paper gonna pay for what he did tenfold. He don't have enough money to come up with the price he gonna have to pay. You gotta let the burden of the situation go and watch that money come rolling in. Facts. But like I said, I don't know. I just feel like when people tell her to be quiet, I watch them people tell her be quiet, and I know why. Because we're conditioned to hate ourselves. And Monique reminds us so much so of ourselves. Outside of the wigs, the makeup, the filters on Instagram. Monique is a representation of who we really are under all this internet and bullcrap. So that's why people go hard on Monique. It is what it is. But Monique built for it. But all I'm saying is if she wants the money or if she want to prosper, she got to let it go. The moment she let it go, it'll come back. Shout out to Monique. Now let's get into funky inside Saneter. Hold on. Let me give y'all a commercial break. Get the likes up on the video, y'all. Let me see what I need for a commercial break. I'm coming right back.
Will somebody please deport me? Yeah, I need deported. Please deport me back home to my Father who art in heaven. Yeah, I I want to be deported. Handcuff me and send me away to the Father. Cause there's so much going on this earth. It gets to me sometimes, yeah. And in these times, I gotta remind myself of my beautiful qualities to help me keep on pressing, such as I am beautiful on the inside and out. I am unique. I am real and authentic. Yeah. I'm not like everybody else, cause I'm me, and that's alright. I am lovable, I am loving, and I am loved. Yeah, I am healthy, and I am wealthy. So until my Father called me home, I guess I can't be deported, but I'm gonna be imported right here, right now, and enjoy my day, and I hope you do too. Peace.
That's right. Titi won't get deported. Come get her. Come get her. Leave Titi right there. She just was in the spirit. She ain't know what she was talking about. But maybe she do. Maybe Titi really do want to get deported. Either way, I support. Shout out to my Titi. No, I don't know her physically or literally, but I feel like she my Titi. So shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? Let's move on. Let's get into this funky Dineva stuff. So, girl, all I know is this is what's going on. All right, let me hold on. I gotta pull up this video that's been going around the internet. So this is what's going on. So Tamar Braxton took to Instagram or somewhere, I can't remember. She took somewhere to just send this vague message about going out, having a good time, and waking up to a pool of blood, allegedly. She said she woke up to a pool of blood. She said she had a fractured face. She also said she's missing 4 teeth. And what else? What else did she say? It's a few other things. But this is the thing. See, I think my expertise in being a sexual assault respondent person, it kicks in situations like this. And this is part of the training that we had to take because these situations are very dangerous. And I realize most people lack situational awareness. Most people are so situationally unaware that they don't even realize that they lack situational awareness. Like, what do I mean by that? Like people who could just be anywhere and everywhere around anybody, even though I don't like you, even though we don't gel like that, but you're going to be, you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. It's just not being situationally aware because you put yourself in situations that could obviously get you caught up. When Tamar came out and said what she said, seeing a video of her and Funky, which was the last video in the night prior, everybody ran to Funky and was like, OMG, Funky, what the hell happened? And Funky got on here acting like he didn't give 2 F's. We gonna get into it. And this is what I talk about when I say situational awareness is key. Because even though I don't believe that Funky Dineva had anything to do with Tamar Braxton, well, let me say that. Let me not say that. I don't believe that Funky Dineva physically attacked Tamar Braxton. Let me start there. I don't believe that. However, the way he's so nonchalant about it, the way he already has an alibi, the way it's all looking, the way he was looking the night before, everything is just, everybody's spidey senses are tingling and they're right. They're right. Now I did see some girls, some women, going online saying that, oh, you know how it is when you have 1 too many. No, I've had 10 too many and still woke up with my face intact and all my teeth. I've never drank so much so where I woke up with my face fractured in a pool of blood, missing 4 teeth. I've never ever and I used to drink straight up liquor. Okay. I have had nights with the clears, and you know they don't have no limit to the amount of liquor they drink, and they be buying it. So I have been drinking, and I have never in my life ever woke up to a fractured face, a pool of blood and 4 teeth missing. Now, I don't care what weird women, you know what it reminded me of? Because I'm a sexual assault, or I used to be a sexual assault respondent, prevention respondent or whatever. You know what it reminded me of? The date rape situation. Like a girl goes out with a guy and they have some drinks, one too many, and then she mysteriously wakes up and don't know what happened. And then she goes to tell someone that she loves or knows and say, hey, this is what's going on. And the women go, but what did you do? That's what these women's energy was. It was, well, you shouldn't have put them shorts on then. And Uncle so-and-so wouldn't have been in there touching on you. That's the energy that those women gave me. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. And it is all because people are blinded behind these people on this internet. I don't get it, but it is what it is. But we're going to get into it. So Funky came out and said that lady, he was very nonchalant about it. He didn't care, blah, 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 blah. And everybody was like, what? People are looking at him like as if he had something to do with it. But Funky's energy to Black women has been off. Go check the channel. This ain't my first rodeo on Funky. This is not my first rodeo on Funky. Funky show you who he is every single time. But people would rather believe their lying ears than look through their truthful eyes. Every time Funky speaks of Black women, it is in a negative tone. Unless it's one of his friend girls, it's always negative. Y'all bitches always mad. Y'all hoes always da-da-da-da. And then when he speak about the clear women, oh, I feel like I want to be some clear woman on Rodeo Drive today. Listen, people tell you who they are and show you who they are. Don't ever just rely on these. That's the problem. We only been relying on these. Y'all got to develop a spirit of discernment. Please get out and do your grounding. Please do your grounding. Okay? I don't never listen to what nobody say. As a matter of fact, I really prefer nobody don't tell me nothing when I meet you. I want to just watch. But I'm a people watcher. Y'all know that's how I am. But Funky has showed us on how many occasions who he is. The vitriol. And it ain't even what he be saying. It's sometimes how he say it. And it be about the collective. It could be one bitch that pissed him off. And not all Black women, all y'all hoes, all y'all bitches. And y'all the ones putting money in his pocket. I ain't here to convince you nothing. What I'm saying is, if Tamar was my sister, if Tamar was my daughter, if Tamar was my cousin, my mother, or anything like that, and she went out on the town with a friend or friends, and she woke up in a pool of blood with teeth missing, bitch, you got to know everybody going to jail till we find out what the hell going on. Oh, yeah. Everybody, even the Uber driver. Oh, you don't know who got out the car? Good. You going too. Everybody got to go. People were saying, well, she didn't leave enough information. Is it possible, possibly, that things are under investigation and there's only so much that she can say? People show you who they are. It's never in what they say. It literally is never in what they say. It's always in their actions. I don't believe Funky likes Black women at all. As a matter of fact, I believe that Funky has some unhealed childhood trauma, and that childhood trauma, that unhealed childhood trauma, is what comes and oozes out of him, and that's how he spreads that vitriol all throughout the YouTube streets, while all these Black women clap for him as if he ain't insulting you too. Fish, because that's what he call you. Even though how many times have we said don't call us fish, and he's still gonna call us fish? That's a whole nother thing. Let's get into the Tamar thing. So Tamar came out, said she almost died on Sunday. She was found in a pool of blood. Her life is on a mend right now. What really happened to this talented USA singer? And I don't know who this is, but let's get into what she posted. She says, I struggle to write this, but everyone keeps calling me, and honestly, I can't really talk anymore. I'm so weak, I almost died Sunday. I was found in a pool of blood from my friend with a face injury. As the days go by, the worse it is. I fractured my nose, lost some teeth, and mobility. Love the way I look at life now is totally different. As my health is on the mend, my mental journey begins. Pray for me for good. I don't even know what happened to me. Now, this is very, 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 very alarming. She was found in her apartment. So this is what Tamar is saying. Tamar is saying she was found in her apartment with a fractured face in a pool of blood with 4 missing teeth. That means some sort of blunt force trauma or some sort of impact had to go boom like that to that girl's face. Could it be she was so drunk she just face planted on the floor? I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't there. Could someone have done something to her? I don't know. Either or could be the situation. My only situation is, my only question is for Tamar is, who was you outside with? See, I noticed this on the internet. I see it on YouTube all the time. I don't be saying nothing though. Everything is all cliquish. You bitches don't even like each other. Y'all, as a matter of fact, most of the people y'all be seeing on the internet hanging around each other have a lot of unhealed, like, secret animosity toward the person that they're hanging around. So you hanging out with a whole bunch of people and you don't know who these people is, not literally. Now you wake up in a pool of blood and nobody have answers. If these are the type of friends, and I'm not just talking about Funky, I'm talking about everybody she was out there with. If this is normal life to you, that's fine. But I could never, listen to me. The cloth that I'm cut from, you see what I'm saying? The way I was brought up, you take care of your homegirl, your partner, or whatever the case may be. We come together, we leave together. If you get too drunk, I'm going to make sure you get in your bed. Lock your door. If I got to spend a night, I got to spend a night. Or you can come by my house till you wake up. That's what people, this is what normal life looks like. People have gotten so engulfed in this internet, y'all don't even know how to live in real life no more. Tamar was with too many people that night, and we about to go get the video. Tamar was with too many people that night for her to wake up in a pool of blood with no answers. It just don't go like that, okay? Regardless to if you like Funky, as far as his character, as far as being a quote unquote friend or being friendly, Funky ain't shit, and I said it. Because the way he all nonchalant, the girl said, nigga, I woke up with 4 missing teeth. This nigga on here, oh, well, girl, what that mean? Bitch, Funky ain't shit, and I said that. That's my opinion. I don't know the other people, but they ain't shit. You can like Funky all you want, but the way this went down was disgustingly horrible, and I would never want to be around nobody like Funky. Ever. I would not trust a nigga or a bitch like Funky. And let me say this as well. A lot of black women fall under the guise of Funky being a gay man and being heavy on the gay and real light on the man part. Regardless to who Funky lay down with in that bed, regardless to who Funky identifies to be, at the core of Funky is a man. Do you hear me? I'm not implying nothing. I'm not inferring nothing. This is what I'm telling you. You're walking around here with the blinders on because you're entertained. This is why I say you have to disconnect yourself from these celebrities. Yes, unfortunately, YouTubers are some sort of celebrity because y'all can't even see reality because of how you feel about the nigga. And he cuss you out every time you piss him off. Call you all type of bitches and fish. Take Tamar off the table. I'm just talking about character here. And y'all go run over there and eat it up. It's almost like running to your abuser. I don't understand. There's no way Tamar should have been out with all them people and nobody have no answers. That is not okay. The nonchalant response to somebody saying, I almost died, or I lost 4 teeth, or waking me up the next morning saying, hey girl, I need your phone number to Heavenly. That's a red flag. What you need Heavenly number for, girl? What happened? We was just together last night. This is what normal people do. Girl, why you need Heavenly number? What's here? This the number, but you good? That's when people care. But when they don't care, they could give 2 fucks. So let's, God forbid, let's say, and take how you feel about Tamar off the table. I'm not a fan of Tamar. Y'all know I drags Tamar. I am not a fan of Tamar. But right is right and wrong is wrong, bro. What if that girl would have lost her life? What if that girl would have lost her life? Or y'all really would have been on this internet? I know you would have. A lot of women would have really still been on this internet talking about how, oh, well, Tamar shouldn't have this, or Tamar shouldn't have that. Y'all women are scary. Y'all are terrifying. Y'all are the women who, when the child come and say, Uncle so-and-so touched me, y'all the ones who blame it on the child. And I said what I said. I understand behavior patterns. I study pathology, and I know what looks like what. As a prior sexual assault respondent, y'all hoes is the hoes that the people scared to go and say, Mama, your boyfriend touched me. Because y'all the hoes gonna turn around and say, I knew you wanted my man. I knew you wanted my man. I tell by the way you was looking at him. That's y'all. Because you can't even take off how you feel about the girl to understand what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. That girl shouldn't have woke up like that by herself. Period. Not with all them people with her. That doesn't make any sense at all. And for people who, matter of fact, for the people who don't understand that, this message is not for you. Just like the video, Fed. This ain't for you. But for the people who understand what I'm saying is, this is still a human life. That girl should not have been able to, she should have been able to go out, have a night on the town. She should have been able to drink as much as she want and not wake up to fractured faces and missing teeth. Y'all hoes got to catch up. This is not rocket science. This is not politics. It's just right and wrong, bruh. It's just right and wrong. Neither here nor there. And then she put, thank you, God, for waking me up today. Tamar, you laying it on thick. You laying it on thick, fat. Show us your face so we can know that this is real. And let me get Tamar. Let me get you right quick since I got on funky. Let me get you right quick too, Tamar, since I got on funky. You know the universe is speaking to you. Oh, yeah. The ancestors, the Most High, and the universe is speaking to you, and you can't even see it. You're all stuck up your ass with that fake persona you got on this internet, and you don't even see that the universe is speaking to you. Remember when Krishan knocked James' teeth out? What are the odds that you wake up with 4 of them missing? This is a genuine question. What are the odds? Remember when Krishan knocked James' tooth? Let me go get the video so we can understand where I'm talking about. Let me go get the video. Hold on, because we're going to put it all in perspective. We're going to call a thing a thing. Fair, right is right and wrong is wrong. And Tamar is not innocent, but in this particular situation, she did not deserve to wake up like that. Period, point blank. And it's not up for debate. Where that video of Tamar? Hold on, I'm going to find that. I got a video of Tamar. There she go, look.
Hey, everybody, I look crazy. Let me take this off. Not that my headband looks any better. It's by Krishan, but there was a lot of events that I believe were misconstrued. And so while I'm not going to set out the time and clear every little thing up for everyone, I want you to know the reason why I decided to say something. Number one, I care about my team. They're all of my friends, and we put this all together for the fans. I'm not a clout chaser. I don't need that. Like, my circle is this small. You know, I don't have to sell tickets for, you know, like, oh, I need to sell tickets. Let me do this, that, other. This show has been sold out for a month. I didn't have an opening act. I knew.
All right, we got to fast
need
forward
to possibly take under my wing, because, you know, everybody. And the only way that they could do that is if I was given an opportunity. And so that's really all it was. I didn't call her and be like, oh, come on and perform in my show. I already knew Tony was planning to perform here at this LA show. She had sent me her number a while ago on a DM, and I reached out.
We don't care.
But I wanted this tour to be about, you know, second chances and, you know, giving new opportunities. And I don't know. I didn't call Krishan to open up for me. But when she was in my dressing room, we do a twerk off portion, right? And I was like, oh, it'd be cool if you
listen, because we know the story. Krishan went down there and knocked James Wright Chanel teeth out his mouth. He won't be yelling for another patty pie for a while. But this is the perk. She was not there for her friend. She basically during that time, it's on the channel. She basically during that time, she freaking she kind of low key took Krishan's side. She didn't take her side, but she didn't fully take James's side. This is my thing when it comes down to Tamar. If this is real, if it is real, and you really did wake up in a pool of blood with 4 missing teeth and all of this stuff, you have to ask yourself why. How do the two correlate? If this is true. If this is not true, words are spells. Tread light. Let me say that again. If this is not true, words are spells. So that's just that on that. I wanted to show y'all, but no, Tamar, like I said, Tamar, at the end of the day, she has to, what was I saying about Tamar? Girl, I done lost my thought. Maybe I got to look at it. But anyway, I'm saying all that to say, Tamar might have, it might be some karmic energy on her. If it's true, if it is true, like I said, heavy on the if it's true, because I understand this internet, and I understand that this internet is a bigger stage than what we think the world is. Now let's get into what Funky had to say about the incident, because I guess that he went live and people were on his channel asking him about the incident, and maybe he had to address it. So Funky came out and said something. And we're going to get into what Funky had to say about it. Y'all like the video. And again, it's a lot of times it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. He was just so nonchalant and carefree. And I heard that he had already felt some type of way about her for missing a interview or something of the sort. But I just pick up really well on energy. I just do, y'all. I really pick up really, really well on energy. And Funky's energy in this video gives me, he may not have had nothing to do with it, but boy, oh boy, you need to separate yourself from that food. Okay. Oh, somebody was saying they was doing drugs. I don't know if they do drugs. I don't know what them people was doing. I don't know. But either way, she still shouldn't have woke up in a pool of blood with 4 missing teeth and a fractured face. Let's get into Funky's response.
For those of y'all that know, I'm talking about Tamar Braxton. I don't know what happened to the lady. We went out. What night that was? We went out. Saturday night. We went out Saturday night. We went to the roof, Chris. We ate. We had a good time.
Funky is deliberately leaving out pieces of this story. I can feel it. Let me tell you something. Funky is being very careful with what he says. Listen, because he don't want to slip up and say something he shouldn't say. Not to say that it would implement him in the situation physically, like he did something to her, but there's something that he doesn't want us to know. So when he's talking and then he paused and then he look up in the air, he's trying to find the words or prevent himself from saying the wrong words. And you're going to see it more and more as he begin to talk. Listen, Funky is telling us the story, but there's some stuff he's leaving out. Watch, look, check him out.
She was like, let's turn up for your birthday. We went down to the V12. Shouts out to Vinny and all the people at V12. That's the video y'all saw, or whatever, with us walking in. They're making a whole lot of noise. We left there. We all got in the car together. The car dropped us off at Tamar house. I didn't go upstairs. I went to my car. I went and met James Knox at B.
Now, back up, nigga. You don't just go from, we had a good time at the club, we got in the Uber, I got out and went to my car, they went upstairs. Who went upstairs? What was the state of Tamar when you got out of the car? Did you say bye? Did you say, girl, is you good? Do you need me to? You don't just get to say, oh yeah, we got in the Uber, got out the Uber, then I went by my friend. No, see, Funky is deliberately leaving out information. Why? I don't know. However, he is doing it. Now, his inner hatred or what do you want to say? How do you say it? His inner animosity comes out when he talks about Tamar, when he calls her that lady. Now, a lot of people might say that's not true. That's how he talks. And it is how he talks, because I've heard him when I used to follow Funky. However, in a situation so serious as this, right? In a situation as serious as this, you typically use better terms when referring to a victim. For instance, they have people who call their mamas by their first names, right? I'm not one of them, but they have people who call their mama by their first name. God forbid, in the event their parent passed, they're not going to tell the average regular person, Jane just passed. They're going to put a different level of title on it, because you have to emphasize the importance of the loss or whatever it is that affects you, right? So you would say, instead of saying, girl, Jane died, to people, you might say, my mother died. And even though it may be a word you have not used in the past, that's what your subconscious does. But when you don't already give a damn about somebody, it's easy to hear, I woke up in a pool of blood, lost 4 teeth and fractured my face. And then you can get on here and say, I don't know what happened to that lady. You don't even realize it's coming out. He doesn't even realize that he's telling on himself by not saying anything and telling on himself. If you can't associate this girl with a name when you speak about her waking up to something so tragic, that tells me, Tamar, dummy, that tells me he does not have any good intention for you. He don't like you. He probably hates you. And you know what's crazy about Tamar and this situation? Tamar don't like Funky neither, and he knows it. Tamar hangs out with Funky because he's a big blogger and he got control of the streets. So technically it was a give or take situation. The problem is, one of them seems to be less caring than the other. So while you went out, had a great time, enjoyed your night, Funky on here calling you that lady. Right after you told him you almost died. That's your subconscious talking. You think your foreconscious. You think the way that you think every day is what rules you. No, baby. Your behavior, your language, your voice, everything that you have is ruled by your subconscious. And when people start to tap in, you'll start to pick up on that energy like that. Funky probably hates Tamar. I'm just saying. That's what I believe. I don't know that to be a fact. But let's get back to Tamar and that lady.
DJ Rooster, and I came home. The next day when I woke up, I had a text message from Tamar at 10 in the morning that said, can you give me Dr. Heavenly phone number? I didn't think anything of it because people ask me for Dr. Heavenly phone number all the time. And it's typically when people have an emergency veneer situation.
I don't know if it's my brain automatically associating these two things, but it sounds like when you talk to the person accused of essaying somebody. and you say, what happened the night before? Did you do anything? Listen, I'm gonna replay it back. Think of it like this. Let's say a woman says somebody raped me. And she said, he's the guy. I'm not talking about Funky. Let's just say they pull up a guy. Close your eyes, take Funky out of the situation. Listen to the way it sounds, and it sounds very reminiscent of the person who might be guilty. Look.
My car, I went and met James Knox at BJ Rooster, and I came home. The next day when I woke up, I had a text message from Tamar at 10 in the morning that said, can you give me Dr. Heavenly phone number?
And don't nobody on here say that I'm reaching, because let me tell you something. If she has a criminal investigation going, then Funky and whoever else was with them are prime suspects. So don't get on here and say I'm reaching. If this is real, and Tamar called the police and reported this crime, then guess what? Funky and everybody she was with are prime suspects. So don't get on here and say, I'm just hating on Funky. I'm just trying to say X, Y, and Z. I'm talking about if I were a cop or if the cops were called, he would be a prime suspect. You were one of the last people seen with him. Y'all watch Law and Order. I grew up on Matlock. Stop acting crazy. So don't say I'm reaching. It just sounds very funny. It sounds so funny. It sounds mad weird. It sounds so weird it don't even sound true. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to just say it. Let me get him back into it.
I didn't think anything of it because people ask me for Dr. Heavenly phone number all the time. And it's typically when people have an emergency veneer situation. I did not think anything of it. People ask me for her number all the time. And then the next thing I know, folks is sending me this thing on the internet where the lady said she almost died and she was laying in a pool of blood. I don't
believe for 1 minute he found out that girl was hurt online. I don't believe that. Because typically victims, when they wake up, if this is true, typically they will call and be like, what the fuck? What happened? Especially if she blacked out. Let's say, for all intents and purposes, because she would have had the blackout if she was alone and nobody did this, right? So if she blacked out, right, when she went up to her apartment, that would be, that would explain her maybe face planting on the floor. But I forgot the thought. Where is it? Thought, come back to me. Where was you? Where was I going with this? Tamar. Oh, let me let it play. It'll come back to me.
I know some of y'all are going to be committed to thinking I'm lying and y'all going to be anything of it. People ask me for her number all the time. And then the next thing I know, folks is sending me this thing on the internet where the lady said she almost died. And
I don't believe he found that out on the internet. Typically, a victim will call the people that they were with because they don't remember. So when you black out, typically, I know I've gotten drunk to where I blacked out. A lot of people black out. And what people don't understand what blacking out is, you've ever got drunk and had so much fun, but part of the night you don't remember? And then you wake up the next day and your friends and your cousins and you be like, bitch, how we got home? And they be like, bitch, we called an Uber, da, 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 da. You know what I mean? That's typically how it goes. If she woke up and don't remember nothing to a fractured face, I'm pretty positive amongst the 911, she called the people she was with to figure out what happened. I don't believe that his first encounter with this information came from the internet, but that's a way for Funky to distance himself from the situation. You get it? And I'm not even a police or a detective, girl. I'm just regular. Like, come on now.
He was laying in a pool of blood. I know some of y'all are going to be committed to thinking I'm lying, and y'all going to be committed to thinking I'm biased, and y'all are going to be committed to thinking I'm covering up something. And I promise you, I swear to God, on my mother, I don't know what happened. I honestly don't. I don't know what happened. And that's the God honest truth. Now I know for some of y'all, that's not going to be good enough, but you're going to have to make it enough. I promise you, on Isaac's life, I don't know what happened. The lady ain't.
But you know, this ain't the first time Funky done did this. Remember when the lady, I forget her name, Kiki from Love and Marriage Huntsville, remember when she passed? The way he got on here was just like, I don't care that she passed because I ain't like her and that girl and that lady. And he's just, Funky Dineva is so disconnected from humanity that he don't even realize that he not even present in the now. Maybe that's done on purpose. I don't know. But this right here, like, you are completely disassociating yourself from this lady who's supposed to be a friend of yours. May not be your friend, but at least y'all are friendly. Y'all hung out. And you just so nonchalant and just like, we went out, had some drinks, ate some food. She left. I woke up, gave her the number, and I don't know what happened. So I know y'all gonna say I do, but I don't know. This is why y'all got to be very, very careful about who y'all be with. You have to be very, very, very careful about who you are with, because you can, as you can see, you can go through a near-death experience, if it is true, and the people around you gonna go on about life like it's nothing. Let me let him finish this off. I gotta find that video. Hold on.
Told me nothing. The lady just said she needed Dr. Heavenly phone number. So that's that on that. I hope we can put that to bed. I know what y'all know. I can give y'all a little more details. The lady did say, Q, I'm missing 4 teeth. And then I wrote back, I'm confused.
When? See, because originally, Funky said that they went out, they had drinks, they had a good time, went to this spot, went to that spot, got in the Uber. Tamar called, went upstairs. He went his way. He went to bed and he found out on the internet. When did she text you to say, hey, I'm missing 4 teeth? And why would that be the first text? Why would somebody going through that type of turmoil just send some random baseless, like unidentifiable text like, oh yeah, hey, random, I'm missing 4 teeth? What did she say? What did the text actually say? Now, if Tamar comes out and give us the real tea, I bet you find out Funky is lying through his teeth. So then after you found out on the internet she almost died, then you get a text from her saying, I'm missing 4 teeth. I need y'all to, mind you, he was just with her. They are close enough to where she can get on the phone and say, hey, bitch, what you doing? And he say nothing. And she be like, you want to go out? And he be like, yeah, that's how close they are, in theory. So she never hit you up and told you she woke up in a pool of blood and don't know what happened. You found that out on the internet. Then after that, she sends you this random text saying, oh yeah, I'm missing 4 teeth. I need somebody out here to make it make sense. I need somebody out here to make it make sense.
The lady just said she needed Dr. Heavenly phone number. So that's that on that. I hope we can put that to bed. I know what y'all know. I can give y'all a little more details. The lady did say, Q, I'm missing 4 teeth. And then I wrote back, I'm confused. So you just woke up and 4 of your teeth was missing, and the lady didn't respond.
Pause. All us go out. We get drunk. You never hear from me that night, but I text you the next day and say, I'm missing 4 teeth. If my friend who I went out with the night before hit me and be like, Voo, I'm missing 4 teeth, immediately, I can't even text back. I'm immediately on the phone. Bitch, what happened to you? What's going on? We was just together. When did this happen? I was there. When did this had to be after we left? Hold on, let me try to help you retrace your steps. What's the last thing you remember? That's typically, and you ain't gotta be somebody's best friend. That's just anybody who cares. Okay? You don't text back, oh girl, so what you mean? You just woke up with missing teeth? He's showing you who he is. He's showing you who he is. I don't The shit been so loud for so long. I don't understand what it takes. But he's showing you who he is. He's showing you. That lady. Oh, so you just woke up missing 4 teeth? He's showing you. Take how you feel about Tamar off the table, bro. This is not right, bro. But I know a lot of people can't disconnect from that because they celebrity worshipers.
Okay, so I don't know what's going on with the lady mouth.
And then the smirk. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. So you heard the internet said this lady done almost died, and this your response?
I can give y'all a little more details. The lady did say, Q, I'm missing 4 teeth. And then I wrote back, I'm confused. So you just woke up and 4 of your teeth was missing, and the lady didn't respond. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with the lady mouth. That's all I know. If that ain't good enough for you, bitch, make it enough. Okay.
And this is why I stick to myself. This is why I stick to myself. Somebody said he always has jokes. This ain't the time, baby. This is not. Girl, I woke up with 4 teeth missing. 4. I don't care which 4 you choose. I woke up with 4 of my teeth out of my mouth. This is crazy. I don't know. I'm not tripping. Everybody else is tripping. I'm not tripping at all. I'm not tripping. It's just, like I say, I'm not saying that he's guilty. I ain't saying he did nothing, but I'm saying it looks funny. It looks funny. Very funny. This is ridiculous. Hold on. I wanted to find, there was another video. I wanted to find that video with him, with her. Hold on. There's a video with him. I guess he's with her the night before or something like that. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Like I say, if this is true, I understand the trickery on the internet. And if this is not true, Tamar and Funky, oh, baby, I feel sorry for you. Hold on. Is it on Tamar page? Let me see. There's a video of him dancing out with her the night before the party. And I was like, and you could see in his energy that he looked like he was off. Who has that video of him dancing with her? Let me see if I can find it. There's a video of him dancing with her as they walking into the club. Let me see. I might go find it. Let's see. Y'all get the likes up on the video. Because, again, I just watch body language and I just pay attention. And what I see when it comes down to this, that dude, his heart wasn't in it. He ain't even, he not even showing no remorse. He be eating those edibles. He be high. Oh, God. Ain't nothing wrong with eating no edible, but, you know. Hold on one second. I want to find that video of Tamar with him the night before. Let me see. Is she having in her story? No. Oh, she posted a Bible verse. Let's see what she's trying to say. Encrypted. And she circled it. Now, I ain't reading all that. It says her husband trusts her completely. With her, he has everything. She does him good and not harm. She makes thread with her friends. I don't know. Tamar must be going through something. I don't know. Tamar must be going through something. Y'all couldn't even see that. It's not on her story anyway. Sorry, y'all. I was trying to read what Tamar was saying. Where is that video? How am I not seeing it? It was all on the internet. What is it? I ain't said it. Somebody said something in the comments that I agree with. I ain't gonna say what the comment was, but I do agree. Isn't it like, I think, let me see if it's here. But there's if somebody could please send me that video, one of my moms, please send me that video if y'all have it, or anybody, please send me that video of her in the club with him, because I just absolutely can't find it. But the point I'm making is, if we can't find it, this is the point. The point I'm making is, it's wrong for her to go out and wake up like this. Some people are saying that it could be fake for her to roll out a new face. I saw that on a comment. You know what I'm saying? Funky showed it on his page, on his Instagram. Let me see. Let me see. She says it's on his page. Nope, this is promo. You talking about assisted living here. It's my birthday. I don't see it on his page, y'all. Oh, there you go. Is this it? I think this might be it. Yeah, this it. Look. Oh, crap. Let me show y'all. Look at the video. Now, this is Funky. Tamar's in the middle, and some other guy. These are all the people that she's allegedly supposed to be that been with that night. Check them out. And who is he? Where was he when she got dropped off? Who this boy is with the glasses on? Who that is? That's a genuine question. Because it ain't just Funky. She was with a few people. That's the owner? Oh, okay. Look, his body language is even kind of off a little bit. It's almost like he forced himself to get into it. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. I don't know. All I'm going to say is this. If it is true, if she really did wake up like that, it's a lot of people, all them people she was with, whoever she was with, they are all responsible for at least an explanation to her as far as their last seeing with her. And then it's another thing. She lived in an apartment complex or a condo place or whatever. There are cameras. They say they have Uber cameras. They have all of that. All Tamar needs to do is access that information to figure out what happened to her, if this is true. And then she also needs to clean house, because people that were around her do not care about her at all. But I didn't like Funky's body language in this video. It just didn't give to me. Thank you for the super chat. Sassy Brown says, hey, boo, can you or someone in the chat recommend some books or articles for research of our tribes here in the Northeast? Love you. Now, I don't know any books, but you know what? Send me an email. And if matter of fact, anybody in the chat who might know of some books to talk about the East, the tribes in the East, the Northeast, drop them in the chat. I have ran across some other stuff. I can give you some research that I found when I did the research on the tribes in the Northeast. I can give you that. I'll send that over to you. That's nothing. But as far as books, I don't know any books as of yet, but I need to get some. So thank you for even putting that on my brain, because I don't have any books for the tribes in the Northeast as of yet. Thank you for the super chat. Beautiful as Darkness. Thank you for the super chat. Says he just mad with his mama. I think so too. And it's not because of what other people say. It's because of what he said. I used to watch Funky years and years ago. And I remember when he talked about the relationship between him and his mother. I think that's the reason why he has situations with Black women all the time. He still haven't healed that childhood trauma. And it's showing up like that. Samanya, thank you so much for being a member, for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. SMP, thank you for the super chat. Said he looked so annoyed when they walked in that club together. Hashtag sideline hater. Something felt off, like, girl, watch it. Exactly. And she was just so unsuspecting. That's ridiculous. That's why I stay to myself. This is crazy. Trey, thank you for the super chat. Says, these behavior specialists here on YouTube usually point out that people don't tell a story like a grocery list. You're right. Something is up. And I'm so glad you said it in that manner. I didn't even think about that, Trey. That is exactly how he told the story, like a grocery list. Like as if somebody say, what did you buy when you went to the store? It was almost like, I bought apples, I bought bread, I got some milk, I got some eggs. Then I went to the back and got some cheese. Then I went to the front and I checked out at the cashier. Then I put the bags in my car. And then I drove my car home. And then I put the groceries up. And then I don't know what happened after that. That's literally what it sounds. That's literally how his recollection of the story sounds. So you're right. Most people won't tell a story like it's a grocery list. Not nothing this serious. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Something in the milk ain't clean though. Is this a rollout for a new face? Thank you, Tisha, for the super chat. She said, is this the rollout for a new face? If it is, it's gonna be her last one. If that heifer done came on here and lied to us and got us all up in arms just to go viral after she done spoke that witchcraft on her own face and teeth, it'll be her last one. You think she gonna reign supreme as the lead singer of Changing Faces? Oh no, she will be the Pharaoh. She better go lay down. Go lay down, Tamar. Go lay. Do not go let them people chop and screw your face up no more. Enough is enough. They not gonna make it look better, girl. It's gonna look worse. Let it go. Release it. Release the face back into the... Release your faces back into the universe, girl. Let it go. Do not go let them people play in your face again. They done played in your face enough. Didn't Lonnie Love have you on there crying when we was over? Remember she was like, remember how she was like this, y'all? Look. And I just knew things were bad when she said you look like a Muppet. And I looked at Vince and I said, do I really look like a Muppet? And he said no. And Lonnie was like, bitch, please. Look, y'all remember Lonnie face? Like, that nigga lies to you, bitch. Muppet babies, ho. Muppet babies. That's how Lonnie was looking. Had that hoe in tears. Tamar, please don't go back down there and let them people play in your face. Please, I'm begging you. It's going to be your last face if you go down there. Please do not let them people do it. Whatever you do, Tamar, don't let them play back in your face, girl. It's going to be the last face. You don't want to reach that level of faces. That's why Carly kind of slowing down a little bit. Relax, okay? But yeah, anyways, what I was saying, but yeah, unfortunately, like I said, Tamar still don't deserve, even though she's not my favorite. Y'all know I don't too particularly care for Tamar. But regardless of that, right is right and wrong, and she didn't deserve to wake up with 4 missing teeth and a fractured face, okay? Tisha said she gonna get a new face. Y'all laughing. I think them people got her, and she coming back a clone. Ooh, you know what? I'm a conspiracy theorist, so I'm gonna say probably, but everybody else gonna say we crazy. But I just want you to know, Nina, we on the same page, girl. We be on the same page, okay? Now let's move on. Now I want to get into. We've been talking about this genealogy situation. I'm urging everybody out here, if you or someone you know are of copper color skin tone, aka black, and you are in the Western Hemisphere of the Americas, Please do your genealogy. Identity is the first step to freedom, and it is the key to self-understanding. Okay, y'all you have to do your genealogy. Now, this is why this is important. Let me go get Saneter on here. Y'all remember Saneter from the House of Consciousness? I saw this last night and I said, boy, I know you lying. Like, this couldn't have fell in my lap good enough. I had to go back and rewind a live when I saw this. So this would happen. So Saneter of the House of Consciousness, for those people who don't know for those people who do not know who Saneter is a YouTuber who been on YouTube damn near like 20 years damn near. Probably longer than that. Saneter was one of the Saneter was on YouTube with Soulja Boy. You feel what I'm saying? But either way, Saneter has this channel that he calls the House of Consciousness. Now, myself and many others used to be down to the House of Consciousness. Now, regardless if we agree with Saneter or the House of Consciousness, we've all have had some sort of run-in with it. The House of Consciousness has produced some of your favorites, like Dr. Umar Ifantunde. Yes. Cut straight from the cloth of the House of Consciousness, okay? It's a lot of them, polite. All them niggas with all these varying opinions, which they really should have put together because they all are true. Yes. Let me say this part too, because I said this before, and I don't know if I ever said it on YouTube. I was saying this back then. The good thing about the House of Consciousness is everybody was right, to a degree. It's just that the bad side was he had everybody debating instead of putting the knowledge together. But I just had to say that part. But everybody was right. If you was an Egyptologist, you was right. If you was a Christian, you was right. If you was a Moor, you was right. If you was a Hebrew, you was right. If you was whatever you was, there was some level of doctrine that you were right. Now, if I got to be honest, the most right were the Hebrews. Them niggas just crazy. Now, they crazy as a rollism, but they more right than all the rest of them. But neither here nor there. That's not why I'm here. Listen, Saneter has made his legacy on YouTube by having a lot of people come in debate. Now, what I noticed about Saneter even back in the day is he turncoat. He a handkerchief Negro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if the Hebrew's on there, then Saneter gonna say he a Hebrew. If the Christian's on there, Saneter a Christian. It's almost like, nigga, who are you? If the Egyptologist is on there, then he'll say he an Egyptologist. Either way, the one thing he always fought hard against was the Indians. Now, don't get me wrong, Saneter is typically balanced, and he's balanced with the Indians, collectively as well. But he didn't quite treat the Indians when they went over there with as much respect, probably because I guess to him, they were newer in the game. Shout out to Top Cats and Dane Calloway. They've been doing this for the longest. But neither here nor there, I guess, according to his timeline, they kind of are the newer ones. So they don't get the respect over there. But he gave a lot of pushback to the Indians, basically telling the Indians, we ain't Indians. Now, I've told y'all before that Saneter is a tether. And the only reason I'm calling him a tether is because I believe he's a Fed. Yes, I do. Say what I said. And I'm saying a Fed, not literally, meaning he's the center and core of a confusion of a nation of people that instead of he could have used that platform to put us together, he really used it to keep us separate. That's just my opinion. I don't know this to be a fact. That's my opinion. Okay. But neither here nor there. I told y'all that he's from Puerto Rico. Now, I got more clarity on this when he talked about his genealogy. And what we find is that Saneter is half Black American and half Puerto Rican. But let's say he was full-on Puerto Rican, indigenous copper color of the Puerto Rican land. He still have indigenous Indian heritage on that side. Because remember, everybody in the Western Hemisphere were already here. They were aboriginal to the lands. They were indigenous to the lands. Them clear people and them Negropeans did not take boats from Africa to bring us here. We were already here. Okay? Now, with that being said, even if he was a Puerto Rican, he would still have indigenous roots. He would still have indigenous heritage that he's directly tied to. Okay? This is a fact. This is not fiction. So we ain't the only Indians in the States. It's Indians all on this whole side of the Western world. Yeah, he would be Taino. I know the Clears tell y'all they're the Tainos. That's a lie. Neither here nor there. So his mom unfortunately passes, and if Saneter ever sees this, or even just to throw it out there in the universe, my heart and condolences goes out to Saneter and his family, and especially on the transition to his mother from this room to the next. And my prayers are in with the family, because that's just what I do. And that's just genuine from the heart, regardless of how I feel about Saneter, regardless to who I think Saneter is. It's just human for me to offer my condolences when someone loses someone as close as their mother. You know what I'm saying? So either way, we find out his mother passes, and at his funeral, family comes in town, and I found out that his mother is Black American, but his father is Puerto Rican. Now, this is the gag, because I tell y'all to do genealogy all the time over here. I tell all the Black Americans over here, particularly the Black Americans, particularly the foundational Black Americans, FBA, Hebrews, Moors, whatever you niggas is, you know what I'm talking to. I particularly tell you guys, do your genealogy. It's more than just understanding who your great-grandmother is. It's way bigger than that. This opens up a wealth of knowledge and power that you won't even be able to articulate. Do your genealogy. You will see when Saneter talks about his findings in his family, you can see his body language, his posture, his facial expressions. You can see a lot of dead weight lifted off of him when he finds an identity, one that's actual valid in who he is. We're going to get into it, y'all. Y'all get the likes up on the video, because I wanted to bring this to y'all and show y'all what it feels like sometimes, because when I watched it last night, I realized, okay, because I understood the feeling. This what it feel like when you find out something about yourself that you've always wondered about. When I tell you it's a feeling, it's a feeling undescribable. You can't even, I can't even explain it, but you can feel it. Do your genealogy, okay? Let's get into it.
On the pulpit, teaching, putting his sister, my mother, last weekend, and so that's what I was dealing with. And family from all over came out. Family came out from the South Carolina, North Carolina, just family, man. You know, and I was just dealing with a lot of stuff, trying to go live so that I won't think about it every time, you know, because you don't go live, you just be sitting here thinking about a lot of stuff.
And let me say this too. The ancestors are working overtime. Listen to me. I told you the universe is doing its part. The Most High is doing its part. The ancestors are doing their part. It's time for you to do your part. The ancestors are working overtime. Through a tragedy, through an unfortunate tragedy of Saneter losing his mother, his uncle, random out of nowhere, does the eulogy and give him his identity. You can't tell me that that's happenstance. That don't just coincidentally happen. Get that out of your head. The ancestors and the Most High in the universe are working overtime to show us these signs. We have to tap in so that we can catch these signals in signs. Okay? Let's get back into it. Now, he's talking about how he's been trying to go live so he can forget and not have to deal with the pain of losing his mother, not even realize, boy, your ancestors is back there doing their big one to get you to wake up. Yeah, we in the age of Aquarius. If you want the knowledge, it's here.
And so, my mother's brother, remember I always used to tell everybody that I have a cousin who's who's a pastor, and I have an uncle who's a minister, who's a pastor, who's all of that, you know. And as he was on the pulpit teaching, putting his sister, my mother, to rest, he started talking about the history. And I was blown away, man. He was talking about the history. And me and 10 Toes Down looked at each other. And we couldn't believe it. We just looked at each other like, did he just say that?
Your ancestors trying to get your attention. That's your ancestors using your uncle to get your attention. You spent 20 years on YouTube, hollering Africa. Your ancestors were screaming, yelling, Saneter. That's what that was. This is divine. What's happening now is divine. Make sure you understand that, okay? That's your ancestors through your uncle on here telling you who you are, okay? It's so much so now for the ones who refuse to sit down and do your genealogy. A lot of my audio is choppy. It's YouTube. Forgive me, it's YouTube. But and I'm gonna let the video play. But let me tell you something. A lot of y'all refuse to do your genealogy. Your ancestors gonna slap you in the face with the knowledge. Some of y'all are stubborn, and your ancestors gonna have to slap you in the face with the knowledge. They understand that. Some of y'all are very stubborn, and the ancestors will slap you in the face with the knowledge. That's what's happening with Saneter. Let this play, and I'm gonna leave out and come back, see if the audio is messed up again. Check it out.
And 10 Toes Down was like, yes, he said that. And I was like wow. And so I said, I gotta interview.
Hey y'all, I don't know what happened. I thought it was still playing, but I left out of the studio. Sorry, I left out of the studio to come back. Hopefully, I hope the sound is better now. Is the sound better? Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how the powers that be is. Is the sound better? Let me know if the sound is better, because we got to get back into it. Let me know if the sound is better. It's a hurricane outside, y'all. That's the devil. Yeah, they don't want us to get this knowledge out, but we gonna get it out. It's not better. Sorry about that. Can you hear it? Put a 2 in the chat if the sound from the video is better. Put a 2 in the chat if the sound from the video is better. I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna run it back for y'all. And Saneter's gonna talk about how his uncle spoke about his grandfather, who's of the Shinnecock tribe.
That I have a cousin who's a pastor, and I have an uncle who's a minister, who's a pastor, who's all of that, you know. And as he was on the pulpit teaching, putting his sister, my mother, to rest, he started talking about the history. And I was blown away, man. He was talking about the history, and we couldn't believe it. We just looked at each other like, did he just say that? And 10 Toes Down was like, yes, he said that. And I was like, wow. And so I said, I gotta interview Uncle Richard when he get off the podium, when we get outside. I gotta do a quick, short clip. I need to know more about this. So he started talking about my grandfather, his father, and my mother's father, their father. And he started talking about how they're from the Shinnecock tribe. And I was like, what?
on the internet. Let me know if y'all can hear me. I'm gonna give y'all a little commercial break.
Shorty got that hair like Rapunzel. Make a nigga fall in love like dominoes. Jupiter booty, can you twerk some? Jupiter booty, can you twerk some? Shorty got that hair like Rapunzel. Make a nigga fall in love like dominoes. Some Jupiter booty, can you twerk some? Goddamn, shorty so fine. Like a treadmill, she be running through my mind. On that booty, she got a nigga geeking, having fantasies of me and her. They got that hair like Rapunzel. Make a nigga fall in love like dominoes. Jupiter booty, can you twerk some? Jupiter booty, can you twerk some? Shorty got that hair like Rapunzel. Make a nigga fall in love like booty, can you twerk some? Hey, Jupiter booty, can you twerk some?
Niggas put that booty while we cooling up and hooting. You know how we do this. The old school troopers. Smartest. We smoother than the smoothest. The hardest, the rulers. They can't get through us.
Shorty.
All right, y'all. I'm restarting my computer. It's the enemy. Y'all already know what this is, but we still outside though. Don't even trip. We about to get back into it. I'm about to restart the computer. But while I'm doing that, we could talk a little bit about what Saneter said. How is the sound? Can somebody let me know how the sound is? Is the sound still choppy? Somebody let me know. Yes, it is. Damn. Y'all, my whole computer just like much better. It's much better. Some people are saying it's still choppy. Hold on. I'm going to try to get back in through my computer because I got to show y'all this video. I'm going to show y'all this video. A little, but not bad. Okay. But what I was saying was with Saneter, and I don't even know what this looks like on y'all's end. But as it pertains to Saneter, he had been hell-bent on not being with the whole Indian thing. And it took for his mama to unfortunately transition for him to get the information straight from the source. Now, I remember a while ago, long time ago, I remember a bunch of people was on Saneter's platform. And I remember somebody came on there talking about genealogy and talking about finding out your family. And they were talking about starting with your grandparents. And I remember everybody in the chat and everybody on the panel was like, you believe your grandmother over a DNA test? And I'm over here saying, why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? Like, make it make sense. Your grandmother has more information on your history than a DNA test. She may not be able to tell you scientifically who you are, but she can definitely tell you your history, your lineage. And they were making a whole bunch of fun of it. I think I'm getting back in, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. And if you don't get off of here, I think it's let me back in. I'm going to get out of this one if it does. All right. My bad. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me? Can y'all see me and hear me? Let me know if you can see me and hear me. Let me know if you can see me and hear me. I am so sorry for that interruption. That is not my fault. I promise you, I had nothing to do with that. I'm just trying to, both. Okay, gotcha. Sorry about that. I apologize, y'all. I don't know what happened. Too much truth. We were spitting too much fire over here. That's what it was. We were spitting so much fire. But what I was saying about Saneter was he was hell-bent on not being Indian. And it took for his mother to unfortunately transition, for him to get it straight from the horse's mouth, from his very uncle, that they are actually a part of the Shinnecock tribe. Now, the Shinnecock tribe I'm sorry. Like I told y'all before, the Shinnecock tribe is one of the tribes that was located up in northeastern. What is saying? Hold on. They slow as a turtle. Did he apologize in this video? I'm trying to read the comments, y'all. Sorry. I hope the sound. He's talking about how his uncle did the eulogy and found out and announced to them that they were part of the Shinnecock tribe.
And 10 toes down was like, yes, he said that.
Let me back him
and
up.
I was like, wow. So, man, I have a quick announcement I got to make. Yeah, you're right, Chris. Excuse me. Yep. Well, first of all, let me say this. Tragedy struck my family over this weekend. You know, I was dealing with some issues and pain and stuff like that. My mom's moved on to the realm of the ancestors last weekend. And so that's what I was dealing with. And family from all over came out. Family came out from the South Carolina, North Carolina. This family, man. You know, and I was just dealing with a lot of stuff, trying to go live so that I won't think about it every time, you know, because you don't go live, you just be sitting here thinking about a lot of stuff. And so my mother's brother, remember I always used to tell everybody that I have a cousin who's a pastor and I have an uncle who's a minister, who's a pastor, who's all of that, you know. And as he was on the pulpit teaching, putting his sister, my mother, to rest, he started talking about the history. And I was blown away, man. He was talking about the history. And me and 10 Toes Down looked at each other and we couldn't believe it. We just looked at each other like, did he just say that?
Now, let me say this. I hope the sound is better. I'm looking at the picture in the background, right? And I see a mixture of people. We got to understand the Shinnecock are Indians. The Native Americans are the $5 footlongs you see every day. That's the ones you see today. Those are the ones that look like the Hispanic. Black Americans are not Native Americans, okay? We don't have no ties to Native American. Some of us may have, quote unquote, Native American in our family. And a lot of people mistake that when they find the Indian in their family. They think the black person is Native American. They're not. The two are different. The two are different. There's a Native American and then there's an American Indian. So the Shinnecock tribe were American Indians. Now, I think they have the Shinnecock Nation now. That's the new thing. But I'm telling you, the original people of the original tribe, black people, are Indians, not Native Americans. I just wanted to add that part to it.
And 10 Toes Down was like, yes, he said that. And I was like, wow. So I said, I gotta interview Uncle Richard when he get off the podium, when we get outside. I got to do a quick, short clip. I need to know more about this. So he started talking about my grandfather, his father, and my mother's father, their father. And he started talking about how they're from the Shinnecock tribe. And I was like, what? I was blown away. I couldn't believe I was listening to that. And so as we was talking outside, I was like, Uncle Richard, can you say that again, what you said in there? And how come y'all never taught us this history? Come to find out, his whole side of the fence. See, you know, what it is I'm going to tell you like this, and I know it's not just me, but what it is that we all don't come together. Family don't really come together a lot. Some do. Only when things happen, only when bad things may happen, that's when we all come out together. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I got up to the pulpit and I talked about that. When he said, do anybody have anything to say? I got up and I spoke about that. And I talked about, I said, look at y'all, look at the family, man. Our grandchildren don't even know your side of the family.
Because he's talking about how, and that's another thing too I want to bring out. I'm glad he brought that up. Because he's going to talk about how it always takes a tragedy for family to get together. We got to get back to family reunions. Black Americans know every year we used to have family reunions growing up. Every year we got t-shirts. We went down to the park. They put some stuff on the grill. The elders sat around and told stories about the ancestors and how we got where we at and who this was and, you know, things of that nature. We used to do that. That's a way of oral tradition and maintaining oral history. That's what we used to do. Shout out to the people who still do them. We have to get back to that. See, but this time when we get back to it, we're going to pay attention at the family reunion when they do this part. See, back in the day, because I was guilty too. When they used to do that part, I didn't want to hear all that. I used to be like, oh, Lord, when they going to finish this up so we could eat? Now, when you get to the family reunion and they start talking about the ancestors or your family, you're going to be all ears. Because now there's a thirst for knowledge there because there lies your understanding of who you are. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, with Saneter, his uncle is in his 70s, I think he said, and he's telling him stories about his grandfather. This is a part of going to your family and getting your oral history. Oral history simply means word of mouth. Y'all know how y'all sit around and talk about that time auntie so-and-so had to go bail so-and-so out of jail, cousin so-and-so out of jail, or y'all are sitting around and talk about how uncle so-and-so had beat up cousin so-and-so because he had stole his car. You know, that's all oral history. When you sit around your elders, they are going to give you oral history, meaning things that happened in their lifetime and things they were told from their parents and grandparents that happened in their lifetime. This is the very beginning and origin, if you have this capability. This is the very origin of where you start to find out names, people, or dates, and places. Let me say that again. This information, this oral history contains three things: names, dates, and locations. So you'll hear something like, oh yeah, I remember Uncle Craig used to own the dry cleaner. He was actually the first dry cleaner in Durham, North Carolina. And when he started his dry cleaning company, he was about to expand. But then the people came in and said eminent domain, and then he had to give up his store. And he lost hundreds of thousands or hundreds of dollars. This not only covers that as far as history, now you can dig into what? Reparations. We want reparations, right? The money is right here. They just lied and told you got to go to slavery to get it. Hello? Is this thing on? Your reparations is here. They just lied and told you that you had to go to slavery to get it. Now, I'm not saying that slavery won't give you reparations. It will. But reparations are owed in all forms and from all things, not just slavery. Slavery is one of the major catalysts, yes, but it's more to it than that. But this is what you call oral history. oral history if you have the capability. If there's an elder in your family or a family historian, who people might say, who's the family historian? That's the person who know all the family history. That's all that is. The person who knows, they may not have been there, but they was told by so-and-so this would really happen. That's all that is. So find your family historian, right? Find your family historian and get that information. That's the first key. All right. Now I want to fast forward him a little bit because I want to show you how he lit up when he talked about his identity. Look, we're on a mission to get to. My bad. Let the y'all like the video, please. Get the likes up on the video. Let the people know we around here Joce, y'all.
Uncle in like, I would say 15 or something years, or even more. Even more. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody have their own lives and they do what they do. But when he came down, this is one of my mother's favorite brothers. And he started talking about the history. And it blew my mind. I was sitting there like, did he just say that? I said, man, I got to go live and apologize to my Native American brothers.
No.
Because
I want to say this again, and I'm only correcting him so that you guys can understand this. You don't owe the Native Americans a goddamn thing. You don't owe the Native Americans. As a matter of fact, the Native Americans owe you. The Native American is the $5 Indian. That's the $5 footlong. That's the Siberians. That's the ones who look Mexican or Asian. Hell, some of them even white. Those are Native Americans. No copper-colored person this side of the world owe a Native American a damn thing. I don't care what part of this side of the world you're from. Not one copper-colored person in this side of the universe owe a Native American a goddamn thing. So let's start there first. But I get what his intent is. What he's trying to say is he's trying to identify his new heritage, which is the Shinnecock Indians. But the thing is, we have to learn there's a difference between an Indian and a Native American. There's a huge difference. If you ever get confused on what an Indian looks like, let me show you what an Indian looks like. Here is what an Indian looks like. Hold on. This, you see that one in the middle? I need y'all to tap in. I need to know if y'all looking. You see that man in the middle? Put a 3 in the chat if you see the man in the middle in between these two clear men. Put a 3 in the chat if you see this man in the middle between these two clear men. All right. This is what the original copper color indigenous person looked like in this land. If you look at this man, he don't have no long, cold, black, stringy hair. He ain't light-skinned. I'm not saying that some weren't, because we reproduce every color. But look at this man. Look at the man in the middle. Black is all get out. Okay, and when I say black, I mean in the sense of how we understand the term today. This is what an indigenous person looks like all over this world, not just here, all over this world. Okay, so when we talk about our history and our lineage, we have to be careful with the terms we use. We got to make sure we saying, instead of Native Americans, we're saying Indian, if that's the term you want to go. Some people don't want to go that term at all. Some people say, I'd rather just say indigenous. Some people say aborigine. Some people say, I'm good with just FBA or African American, whatever you choose to be. I am not here to police your titles. I am not here to police any of that. My sole job here is to get you to do your genealogy. That's it, and help you along the way as much as I can. I'm not an expert. Please, I am not an expert. I am just here to pass along the message, okay? So please remember that. All right, now, I see what he's saying, though. He's saying he owed the Indian community, which is the Black American community, who had identified that they have indigenous roots. He's saying that he owed them an apology because of how hard he used to go at them, tell them that they crazy. Oh, we ain't no Indians. We from Africa. Most of us have the same sentiment because it's been beat over our head. Africa. Africa, Africa. I need everybody in the chat to release Africa back to its owner. I need everybody in this chat, if you ain't from Africa, if your mammy and your daddy ain't from Africa, if all 4 of your grandmammies or grandpappies ain't from Africa, if 8 of your grandmammies and grandpappies ain't from Africa, if 16 and so on and so forth, if you can't locate one person, I don't care what no DNA test says, if you cannot locate one person to tie you to Africa, I need everybody in this chat to let go of Africa right now. Let it go. Throw it away. Ball it up in a paper. Hit the 3. Steph Curry, fade away on it. Throw it away. Again, that's that. You gotta separate from it. You got to. That's the only way it's gonna work. If you don't separate, you're gonna be still right here. I'm just saying. Throw it away. It's over with. It's dead. It's over. If you still believe we from Africa in 2025, I feel bad for you, Fed. Let's move on. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Africa, though. This is no shade. But we got to start going with the facts. We can't go with the folklore and the tales they told us on the movie Roots. We got to go with the facts. Okay? Release Africa. Let it go. It's over. We don't want nothing to do with you. We love you, but we don't want nothing to do with you. All right?
Some of them are real. Some of them are not. You know what I'm saying? I know I showed y'all my DNA. And in my DNA, it had some percentage of Native American in there. Right? Yeah, I saw that. I talked to him about my father a little bit. He knew my father very well. You know? And he knew my father, Puerto Rican. He knew it, Joseph. As soon as I say my father, I said, I'm Puerto Rican. I said, my father, Puerto Rican. He said, yeah, Joseph, I know who he is. And I was like, wow, okay. Tell me a little bit about him. And I didn't even get that on tape because I was just interested in learning more about him, you know? But at the end of the day, I can't even go against that no more because I just learned that, goddamn, I have some Indian in my family. That a lot of the stories that the brothers and sisters be talking about are real.
You heard them? A lot of the stories the brothers and sisters be talking about are real. I'm going to tell you, the first time I came across any content like this, it was through Dane Calloway, and I'm listening to him and listening to him, and the one thing he got me with was, don't believe me, go home and ask your family. So me being the type of person that I am, you ain't going to call my bluff. Guess what I did? Went home and asked my family. Now, immediately when Dane Calloway said that, this is my first introduction to Dane Calloway. Immediately when he said that, originally, the interview will remind you of things if you tap in, but it will remind you of things that has been showing you all this time. Like, for instance, immediately I said, oh, I remember my daddy saying that we have Indian in our family, that my grandpa was Indian. Then I say, oh, I remember on my mama's side, my mama did say my great-grandmother was a full-blooded Indian. I remember that. This is what I'm thinking to my head. So then I call my mama and say, Ma, what happened with the family that said we Indian? Oh, yeah, girl, they said we Sumi Indian. And it all comes spilling out. Listen, we were indoctrinated and we were abused psychologically to not pass this information on. So you're going to come across family and they're going to spill it out, and you're going to be sitting there saying, why didn't you been tell me? Don't blame them. Charge it to the game. They didn't know. We are the group that are awakening. This generation, my generation is the first generation. I don't know if we X or millennials or both generations. We are this generation that's going to usher in this new wave of knowledge and this new inner self and inner recognizing and identity. We're going to usher all this in. We're just the starting part of this. We just here to pass along the message. We ain't nobody. We just passing along the message. But I'm saying all that to say you have to start in genealogy. You have, if you want answers, they are in your genealogy. Okay? You have to, it is imperative that you make that family tree. I don't care when we get off this live, you sit down and draw on a piece of paper a tree and write names of your mama and her mama and siblings and all that. I don't care if that's what you do. You have to start. It is imperative that you start. Imperative means extremely important. Okay? Start your genealogy ASAP. Okay?
See, here's the difference. When I asked my cousin, are we Africans or are we Indians? She said, yes, we're a little bit of both. See, they did not deny the African side.
The reason they didn't deny the African side is because even though they know the truth, they are still indoctrinated under this system that we come from Africa. They have your family have documented proof. And this is not just Saneter's family. It's a lot of people I've seen that come to this realization. You don't understand that you still hypnotized. Even with the truth sitting in your hand, your subconscious still wants to attach you to Africa. So even though you got the documented facts right in your hand, what are you going to say? Oh yeah, but we still got some African in us, and we have been shamed by other Africans and Black Americans who are doggone ops and feds. We have been shamed, right, into not identifying or into identifying with Africa. So for instance, if I say I'm not from Africa, what's the next thing the person gonna say? Oh, you just don't want to be Black. When the fact is, they got white people that are from Africa. That don't mean that Black is automatically African. I can be Black and not from Africa. It's indoctrination. That's why his family is saying, oh, no, yeah, we still got some African in us. I employ all the people, for all those who do their genealogy and still want to hold on to Africa. This is my proposal to you. You will find the person, the actual person who you can tie to your Indian heritage. You will find that. I pledge that you go find the African person tied to that same genealogy and that same history. If you cannot connect a name and a person with Africa to your genealogy, then that tells you everything you need to know. I haven't found my African family member yet. And the fact of the matter is, most of you won't. But I can't tell you who you are. Do your genealogy. Indoctrination is a mug.
And I was happy that they didn't do that, because then I would have been against them on that. Not against them like that, but I would have been like, yo, don't tell me you're afraid to be Black or African. She said, yeah, we have a little bit of African in us as well, but we are Native Americans. And I was like, oh, wow, Native Americans, you know? And I mean, I can't go against that no more. So I'm going to learn a lot more about that.
Want $1,000 weight loss medication for $50?
You can see the load lifting off his shoulders. Look.
You know, Shinnecock Nation of America. And here's my Uncle Richard. Let me just play it and get it out the way, man. I said, I wish I would have interviewed him a little longer, but I can. Because I'm going to call him now. I'm going to call my uncle. And I'm going to do a nice long interview. And here we go right here.
Watch his uncle spit that fire.
All right, I want everybody to know that this is my Uncle Richard right here. One of my
Peace to the elder. Peace to the elder, Uncle Richard. Peace to the elder, Uncle Richard. Uncle Richard about to school him. Peep him out.
One of my mother's favorite brother, right? And so I want to ask you something. You said something that was very good to me in there, and I didn't know. I'd be arguing with people about the Native American Indians, and I'd be saying, I'm not an Indian, I'm an African. So talk to me about what you said about that.
Just
about my grandfather?
Yeah. Dad came from Long Island, further out near around Kokomo, and he was in the tribe of the Shinnecock Indians.
So my grandfather,
Native American, and he moved, married Graham, and moved into Glen Cove.
Yeah. Wow.
look at how fast he just solved 100 years worth of questions. He said, my grandfather, mind you, this man is in his 70s. So the person that he's speaking about was born in the 1800s. Okay. He said, my grandfather was a part of the Shinnecock tribe. They call him Native American Indian. We're going to deal with the lingo later. As long as you understand that there's a difference. Okay. And yeah, it's so many tribes, so many Virgo, so many tribes. It's ridiculous. Okay. Sometimes with the elders, you have to probe them for the questions, for the answers. They have been conditioned not to volunteer this information to you. So you have to probe them. But once you probe them, it's almost like turning on a water faucet. Everything just starts coming out. Everything. So when Unc is speaking, he's speaking from oral history, oral tradition. So he had to sit down and either talk with his father or his grandfather so that he can pass whatever knowledge he's passing down to Saneter. Okay? This is what you call oral history and oral tradition. All those things are passed down orally. We didn't have to write our stuff down like they did. Oral power was big. You get it? Talking was big. We kept it alive in here. In here and in here. Once they killed here and here, you took away the identity. Does that make sense? Let's get back into Unc right quick.
Oh, man, I know the people. Native American, indigenous folks.
Yes. Say that again.
As a Native American, indigenous folks, if you want to be politically correct, we are not.
Go ahead, sister.
From the country of India, we are.
Now that's his granddaughter that's talking right now. That's his granddaughter, which is my cousin. That's my cousin, my second cousin right there. She just got back from Africa, Kenya, and Ghana. She travels all over. So she jumped in. So they know their history. It is me who don't know it. Damn.
Politically correct Native American, indigenous folks. Yes.
Say that again.
As a Native American, indigenous folks, if you want to be politically correct, we are not from the country of India. We are.
Now, how come we didn't know nothing about this history, though?
I don't know.
Because it wasn't passed down to me.
I knew.
She knew.
So you know about this.
I knew.
Now, that's my other cousin right there. They come from, that's my other cousin right there, you know.
And
But
this is another thing too, really quickly. This is another thing you're going to run into because it happened to me. So when I first went, because I took over my family's, we have a family gravesite in Mississippi. It's historical. It's a historical gravesite in Mississippi. And I've taken over the reins of cleaning it annually and making sure that the family come out and we take care of the ancestors, rest in place. But either way, listen, when I asked my grandmother's sister, her youngest sister, about the Indian portion of our family, she just started spitting. And I asked, I said, well, hold on. You taught your kids this too? You know what my auntie said? Of course. All my kids know we Indian. They know we ain't from no Africa. Then I said, wait a minute, time out. I said, well, pause. Why my grandmother never told me about that? And my auntie had to look at me and say, well, girl, I don't know. But I know for me and my kids, I made sure I passed that oral history down. Now, this is the same thing Saneter's going through with his uncle and his kids. He is looking at them like, how come everybody knew this and nobody told me? It's going to happen. It's been suppressed in us to speak about this. Now is the time to scream loud and proud. I will say this. This is a right we can fix, or this is a wrong we can right. Moving forward in the future, we will be more forthcoming about our oral history. We won't only tell when we asked. We'll volunteer the information. Even when the kids don't want to hear it, still tell them. It'll come back in them nuggets. They'll come back when they need to. Trust and believe. So the cousins knew, the uncle knew, and he didn't know because his mother didn't tell him. Don't charge it to the mother. Don't charge it to your elders. Some of them are conditioned not to speak about this. It's okay. Don't blame them. Just take the knowledge, appreciate the knowledge, and do something with it. Find out who you are.
You knew who it was. But you know what it is? We really never had these conversations. And so I am glad that I did now, because now I'm going to get more information from my family while we're still here and while my uncle is still here. I think he's the last of the Mohegans from my mother's side. Yep. He's the last one that's here. And now I got to get that history before he leave, man. Yeah. He's 89 years old, and I got to get this history.
Oh, he's 89.
If you're a web designer, here are 4.
OM. I thought he said 70-something last night. He said his uncle 89. Could you imagine how old his grandfather would be if he was alive today? If his uncle is 89, think about it. If his uncle is 89, let's say his grandfather lived. If his uncle is 89, his grandfather would be at least 150, right? That puts you back into the late 1800s. That puts you in the heart of how we get here today. Because a lot of the stuff was popping off in the 1800s. That means he's talking to a man who was present when a lot of this shit was forming to be what it is today. Do you understand the wealth of knowledge that could be there? Think about this. Talk to your elders. Talk to your elders. I don't care if you got cool elders and you might have to buy them a pack of cigarettes or bill some liquor or something to get them to talk, whatever. Do what you got to do. Go get the cigarettes, the bill, whatever you got to go do, and go sit down and talk to your elders. That's where all your answers are. Then after that, tap into yourself and find the rest of your answers. Because that's where your answers really are. In you. Not in no external nothing. It's in you. But that's a story for another day.
I knew.
So you know about this. I knew, because my father is William Merritt, and he always told us that we were.
William Merritt is my mother's other brother, and that's her father. You see that? William Merritt. So her father taught her the history. My mother really never talked about it, and I think that's why we didn't know. My mother never really talked about the history, man. You know? But her brothers taught their kids that. And so here it is.
She knew.
So you know about this.
I knew, because my father is William Merritt, and he always told us that we were part of the Native American Shinnecock tribe.
Oh, wow. And I be online arguing with the brothers that be saying we're Indian.
And the girl too. Mm-hmm. And I told my kids about the Shinnecock Indians.
Wow.
So we were all aware of it. Nita Gale knew. Billy knew. All of us knew.
All of y'all knew except us.
Except me. Indian in my family.
Right. All right, so everybody, y'all hear it? This is my Uncle Richard right here, and he came, the priest for my mother. You know, go ahead.
I'm going to give you an assignment. Check out the Shinnecocks. Google it.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Right.
The Long Island Indians.
Oh, man, beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. How come
you heard what he said? The Long Island Indians. Shout out to the Long Island Indians, man. Shout out to the Long Island Indians. You heard them, huh? Long Island. Shout out.
You ain't tell me nothing about the Indian family. That's my other cousin right there. Now she also know. I'm like, wow, I'm the only one in the dog that don't know this.
Oh, I've known about the Shinnecocks for years. You didn't know
So what was your father?
My father was a Shinnecock.
My uncle?
Uh-huh.
Hold on.
We was from that tribe.
My uncle
was
and my mother was a Shinnecock Indian?
And if you think about their features, you can see it.
Yeah,
you know, think about your mom's features. The cheekbones, they were all part of the Shinnecock.
So we're not African, you saying?
We are Africans, Americans, we are Native Americans.
Okay. Now you see, she did not deny that we was not Africans.
Listen, Saneter makes his money off of Africa. Nigga, you ain't from no damn Africa. Your cousins are just confused. They still a little bit indoctrinated, but they know the truth. You're not from Africa, nigga. You from Puerto Rico and Long Island, New York. That's where your lineage go back to. Now, I don't know where your Puerto Rican lineage go back to further than that, and I don't know where your Long Island lineage go back to further than that, but I'm going to tell you this, nigga. I get it. You're going to hold on to Africa because it makes you coin. If you let go Africa, you don't get no more coin. But I'm going to tell y'all what Saneter won't. that nigga ain't got nothing to do with Africa, and that nigga in Africa ain't got nothing to do with that nigga. Okay? You from right here in the motherland, just like the rest of us. Okay? But I'm saying all that to say, don't be discouraged if you find out that other people knew and you didn't know. It's par for the course. That's how it goes. Sometimes people feel like, and I'm gonna be honest, as a person who's been studying this history, most people I come across don't want to hear me talk about this. I come on the internet and talk about it with y'all, and I'm trying to learn, even when I'm out with my friends and family, to kind of calm down on it, because honestly, most people don't want to hear all that shit. I'm gonna start using my discernment with who I speak to about it, and not just try to speak to everybody about it. But you know, when you get knowledge, you get excited and all that stuff. But ultimately, we gotta let go of that indoctrination, man, and get into that genealogy. You gotta get into it. You gotta get into it. Saneter had a lot of weight lifted off his shoulder, though. That nigga just don't want to let go of Africa. Duck ass.
You see? And that's what I love about it right there. She said, no, we are African nation and American nation. Like, we are mixed. We are a mixed tribe. She didn't hide that. See? I love that.
You know, think about your mom's features, her cheekbones. They were all part of the Shinnecock tribe.
So we're not African, you saying?
We are Africans, Americans. We are Native Americans.
Okay. There you go.
All of the above. Yeah.
Right.
Wow. And Dad's grandmother was named Graham.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, her name was Graham. And she married Shinnecock Indian.
So there y'all have it. I can't go against the Indians no more.
That's right.
I didn't even know my family were Indians. Wow, it's in my blood. Don't forget, my father was Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that's right, Joe.
There you go.
I remember
there
Joe.
You go. So there you go. See that? See that? My uncle know who Joe is because they was around each other with his sister. So he know more about my father than I do.
With Fargo, your virtual assistant from Wells Fargo.
I like the video. Please like the video.
When I was born, I only got a chance to see my father one time. But I know he's seen him many times. You know how they say, like I tell my grandson, man, I knew your mother before you, bro. I knew her before you. And that's what he could say to me. Like he knew my father way before me.
That's a very powerful statement. When he say I knew, like for instance, like my mother could tell my daughter, I knew your mother before you knew her. That would mean that my mother knows me better than my daughter. Even though she's my daughter and she knows me just as well, my mother has more experience with me. She has more history with me. This is why elders are important. They know you better than you know you because they know those that came before you. You don't. Does that make sense? They know you better than you know you because they know those that came before you. They have the experience, the longevity, and the wisdom with these people that came before you. This ties in like messed up puzzle pieces. This is what connects the dots. This is it. And I would urge Saneter to go find his daddy's side, the Puerto Rican side, and go around there by them Afro-Puerto Ricans, quote unquote, so-called, but go down there by them Afro-Puerto Ricans and find out where his daddy people came from. Elders are very important. We done ignored our elders. We done disregarded our elders, bro. We need the elders. They the ones know better than us. We can get all this knowledge all we want. You need the elders. You need them.
So he knew who Joseph was. You know? Joe. Oh man, this is beautiful for me to know though. I'm glad I found out this right here. Yeah, I'm glad I did find this out. The Shinnecock Nation. So now I'm gonna go and do my research more. I'm gonna go and study more on this right here. And I'm gonna get ready to get him on the phone probably tomorrow. Give him time to get home. He's traveling back on the plane, going back home. You know?
Let me tell you something, man. I can't explain the way it feels. I can only tell you do your genealogy. But you can see in Saneter's demeanor that he's excited about this information. I believe that if we all start tapping in, doing what we got to do, and doing our research, doing this genealogy, I think it's something that we all gonna start being tapped into. And I think that's more important. The devil tried to take the lie, but you know, my ancestors and the Most High were heavy on my side. So we back, bike, or whatever the case may be. But either way, I'm happy that Saneter found out he's Shinnecock, and I'm happy he came to this platform and shared it, because he's got a whole history of saying we ain't got nothing to do with Indians, that we Africans. Now I get it, he's gonna hold on to Africa. For now, we'll let that slide. At this point in time, what's most important is finding out who you are. The only way to find that out is through your genealogy. What's a genealogy? It's a family tree. That's it. But shout out to Saneter and his uncle. My condolences to the family. This was beautiful when I saw this last night. I knew I had to come on here and tell y'all what I saw. Boo, his sister said they were Indian. They were an Indian and African. Yeah, I already talked about that. That's indoctrination. That's indoctrination. That's indoctrination. But shout out to Saneter and the uncle. I had to bring this to y'all because I feel like it's something y'all needed to see. And it may inspire some of you guys to go and do your genealogy. Okay? I'm not selling you nothing. I ain't saying nothing. All I'm saying is do your genealogy. It don't cost you nothing from me. I ain't gonna charge you nothing to tell you go do your genealogy. Just go do it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna benefit you way more than it'll ever benefit me. Okay. All right. Thank you for the super chat. Says he definitely doesn't like her for real, but I think she blacked out from drinking too much or blood pressure. I don't know what happened to Tamar, but I still think that she didn't make a mistake and knock 4 teeth out. That's all I know. You know what I'm saying? Measure Man, thank you for the super chat. Says, Vu, one of my mentees called after seeing my comments on your channel. A 5-hour call led to a Zoom call. And with Ola, we gathered over 100 people to rewatch your live. And I learned I am a bot. What? Wait, how did you learn you a bot? I don't know if that was what you meant to say, Measured Man, but it was going good all the way to the last part. And I learned I am a bot. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know. Did I call you a bot? I hope I didn't. Sorry. Love is stronger than death. Thank you for the super chat. Says, just had my 3-day reunion. It was beautiful. I've been assigned as the family historian. Vu, you definitely been helpful or you've definitely been helpful. Big thanks. # genealogy. You're welcome. This is what this is all about. That's all I care about. Do your genealogy. That's all the things I need. All the things I need is do your genealogy, and I'm appreciative, and I know I'm doing something right. But with that being said, y'all, thank you so much. Love is stronger than that. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Again, please get out and do your grounding. If you wear wigs, it's cool, girl. Take the wig off, go in the backyard, and let your braids breathe, and let the sun touch your crown. Okay? We need to open up these heart chakras. A lot of people still operating at the lowest chakra. We need to open up these chakras, bro, so we can get this power going, get this magic going. Literally. But with that being said, I'm about to jump up off of here, y'all. Love y'all down to the ground. Love and hip hop coming later. I know I said it yesterday, but I had my days off. Love and hip hop coming later on. Love y'all down to the ground. I will catch y'all on the next one. Genealogy today, genealogy tomorrow, genealogy forever. Peace.
Can you hear me now? Oh, let's go. It's your boy Big Chew, the voice of the beat. You know what I won't blaze up. Come on, blaze up.
It's the beat for me.
Wow, 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 for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Drop it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Do it for your guy, for your B-O-Y. Come on, baby, we live. For your boy. For your boy. Also for your boy. Fix it for your boy. Drop it for your lift it up.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo doll time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.